This is Eagle Owl, and today we're going to talk about Gardner Johnson disrespecting Ainias Smith. Also, we signed a new safety. And lastly, Tyler Steen and Jalen Carter got into it today. But let's get straight into it. All right, so before we get straight into it, and before I shot this video, I'm hearing Howie Roseman is on the phone. Yes, he's on the phone trying to get a new wide receiver. He need wide receiver depth, and the first guy that comes to mind is John Metchie III. John Metchie III comes to mind because, one, the Houston Texans, they are thin at cornerback, and they got too many wide receivers. They got Robert Woods over there. They got John Metchie III over there. They they got Diz, Nico Collins, and they got a bunch of receivers, an abundance of receivers that can start for other teams or even be, a part of the depth of another team, whereas though we're talking about good guys on the Texans who could potentially be cut because they're so deep. And then you got to look at us with cornerbacks. We got some great cornerbacks and who can possibly be cut because we are too deep. I brought this up before that we can trade a cornerback to the Texans and be okay. They can trade a wide receiver to us and be okay. To me, it's a match made in heaven. But that's if the, Houston Texans want to do it. What if they don't want to do it? So hopefully they do. Hopefully they do. And how we get a guy there like John Metchie III, or even if we could get Robert Woods, I'll be cool with that too. But at the same time, though, I have to admit this. I don't really get the push for another wide receiver, in my opinion. I know people saying like, well, what if AJ or Devontae Smith go down, right? One of them get hurt. Okay, so say Devontae Smith is the guy that got to miss 2 to 3 weeks, right? You'll have A.J. Brown, maybe Johnny Wilson, right? You still have Dallas Goedert and Saquon Barkley. You should be able to win games with that matchup because Dallas Goedert can go into that number 2 role. Whoever A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith can go into that number 1 role. Then Saquon, he'll be the third option. You'll be fine. You'll be okay if one go down. I don't think it's really a big deal as people making it. But if Howie and, the majority see it that way, then cool. Get another wide receiver. I'm not going to be mad at it at all. But I'm just saying I don't really see the push. Like, we need that. We don't. Because we know the majority of the passes are going to go to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. And one of them go down. It's going to go to A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith and then Dallas Goedert, who should be able to handle it. And then you'll go back, well, Eagle Owl, remember last year, one went down and we looked terrible, but Devontae Smith went off? Sure, you can bring that up. But I could bring up the play calling. I can say that if we ran the ball majority of the time and let Devontae Smith work the middle of the field, we could have beat the Buccaneers. But that was just Eagles' bad play calling, in my opinion. It was just bad play calling. So, again, I don't really see the push for it. But let's hop into the camp notes. Let's just get straight into it. All right. So the injury report over in Burt's, who been on there forever. Grant Calcaterra's shoulder, new name on there. You got Paris Campbell, and come on, Grant Calcaterra, we need you. All right. But you got Paris Campbell still growing. CJGJ got the shoulder, and Albert O abdomen. Did not practice. Mekhi Gardner, Patrick Johnson, and Brandon Smith were all limited. Those was the guys that were limited. And I didn't know Patrick Johnson got hurt. Maybe it came from something else, but he was definitely limited today. So before practice, I'm going to talk about it. Before practice, we signed the safety named Caden Stearns, and we released Shaq Quarterman. Now, Stearns is an interesting piece because he was good. I mean, 4 interceptions, 9 pass deflections in about 21 games. He was decent. He was solid when he played. He's still a young guy, I think like 24, 25. But you know why he was released by the Broncos and why he was cut by the Panthers? Injury. I mean, come on. We got Sidney Brown on the roster for that. Injury. He got a really bad knee injury to the point he did fail his conditioning test with the Panthers, signed with us. Vic Fangio said he's not going to be ready to practice within a week or so. So it doesn't help now. Like, if we need a safety, we need him now. If you're gonna wait for one, you're better off waiting for Sidney Brown. That's my opinion on the signing. I know the numbers. You says it all. Like, he's good, but at the end of the day, he's not ready now. It's not ready now. So it's like a meaningless signing. Then you sign a potential. I mean, then you released. I'm sorry, you released a potential like uh special teamer type guy, or maybe N'Kobe Dean showed enough, or over in Burks is showing something like he may come back. But Shaq Quarterman he was okay. He was okay. But I don't get the Stern sign if he's not ready now. Just don't get it. Let's talk about the starters that matter, right? So Isaiah Rodgers still at cornerback 2. Zach Bond and Devin White are still the linebackers. I do want to see Trotter Jr. with the ones, and I actually want to see Dean with the ones a little more. But the Eagles, it looked like they set in stone on Zach Bond and Devin White. I think there should still be a competition for Zach Bond's spot, but I digress. You want the team in unity, so if Zach Bond is the number one, I guess we want to keep it that way. You don't want to show any confusion, but I think there should still be a battle there, in my opinion. Quinyon Mitchell basically won the slot position, so Quinyon is still in the slot, and Mekhi Becton is still right guard. I'm hearing reports that Tyler Steen is still hurt with the ankle injury. He's trying to battle through it because he really wants his spot back, basically. But, I mean, he's not going to get the spot back, and if it's still hurt, you should rest it, but Becton already gaining the momentum, so I'm not sure what Tyler Steen's doing, again, if he's still hurt. If you're still hurt, just chill. Just chill. Stay limited. Do what you can do. Do like the drills. But come on, man. You shouldn't do team drills if you're still hurt. But that's the report out there. I'm just going by the report, in my opinion. Britton Covey was with the first team. He was first team slot. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Britton Covey, so far, is winning that spot. Paris Campbell, to me, I think he's losing that spot, and he's honestly losing that spot because he's not playing. Even in the game, I like how Johnny Wilson played, but Britton Covey, it was more of a natural fit. I like how Johnny Wilson blocked. I like his height advantage over the guys, but as far as that number 3, I think Britton Covey is the better receiver, in my opinion. And Britton Covey should be. He's been in the NFL for a while. And I'm happy his mindset was like, I'm more than a special teamer guy. I can really work this offense. So shout out to Britton Covey doing this thing. Pickett had a nice throw to our receiver, Jacob Harris. I think it was down the middle over Zach McPherson. So, yeah, Pickett is making nice throws. Hopefully we can see it in preseason and in joint practice. But Pickett's doing this thing. Hurts threw back-to-back dimes to John Ross and Dallas Goedert. John Ross, we need to see this. We need to see this during the preseason game, man. I wasn't impressed. I was not impressed. But John Ross' name still is standing out a little bit between, all the other receivers. John Ross might make this roster offer just because we so thin that receiver. But if how we can pull like John Mechie or something, John Ross really going to have to step his game up for sure. Quinyon Mitchell strapped up Devontae Smith. Yes, he strapped up Devontae Smith one-on-ones. Got a PBU. I like to hear that from Quinyon Mitchell, our young guy, doing this thing against a vet. So Quinyon, I mean, you looking ready, man. You looking ready. That's a big name to strap up, man. Jalen Carter had one of his better practice today. Jalen Carter got a sack going up the middle, and also another play. He got instant pressure. And then Jalen Carter one-on-ones with Tyler Steen. They was drawn back and forth to the point where it was almost physical, and Connor Baldwin had to break it up like, whoa, 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 whoa. But Jalen Carter was having one of those practice. Like, he was going bananas. He was going berserk. He was going crazy. You want to hear that about your guys, especially your defensive tackle, your first-round pick last year. He had one of those practices, and I'm proud of Tyler Steen for not backing down, bro. Don't back down. Yeah, Tyler Steen, get at him. Jalen Carter, get at him. They had to cool down for about I think about 10 minutes, far as what I read. And then eventually it just went back to normal practice. So shout out to those two, even though it got heated, they cooled down and just went right back to practice. Because at the end of the day, one is offense, one is defense, but they still teammates. They need each other to win. Isaiah Rodgers had one of his better practice today. He matched up against A.J. Brown, multiple PBUs, and Isaiah Rodgers, seatbelt, but on the seatbelt. So Quinyon, Isaiah Rodgers definitely had one of their better practice today. And yeah, Isaiah Rodgers had to show out and put on the seatbelt like, AJ, I got you. I got you. Johnny Wilson had beat Quinyon Mitchell for a touchdown. I mean, Johnny Wilson, you do what you do. Use that length. Use that size, man. Quinyon's taller than a lot of receivers, but this one is different. But shout out to Johnny Wilson still making plays. Definitely making plays. Jalen Hurts won another practice with no interceptions, 16-19. Really good. Jalen Hurts continues his streak of just not throwing any picks. Now, is that a knock on the defense? Maybe. Or is Jalen Hurts that good? We'll see. So Jalen Hurts, keep doing you. We'll see during the joint practice. Now, if he start throwing picks and looking bad, yeah, we gonna have some questions about the defense. So far, even what I seen in the preseason and joint practice, I'm telling you, it's not as bad as the numbers are showing. The defense is not as bad. I'm telling y'all, man, it's not. Also, I forgot to mention how Jalen Carter, I'm telling you, he had one of those practice. It was a handoff to Saquon Barkley. Jalen Carter got back there easily, tackled for a loss. When I say Jalen Carter was everywhere, Jalen Carter was everywhere. Stopping the run, getting pressure, getting sacks. This was one of his better days. Milton Williams went one-on-one with Landon Dickerson and literally dusted him off. Easy work, and it's Landon Dickerson. And Milton Williams made him look like easy work. So Milton Williams, man, keep doing you. Keep doing you, man. You trying to get that money. I know a lot of people looking up his stats like, do he deserve it? Milton Williams, anytime he's on the field, he make an impact. He makes an impact. And I think he's going to see a lot more time on the field. Nakobe Dean, even though it's not a battle between him and Zach Bond, but shout out to Nakobe Dean. He got a lot more first-team reps after a great preseason game. So Nakobe Dean trying to work his way back up, but it's good to hear he got a lot more first-team reps. But Zach Bond right now is just still the guy. So, but again, shout out to Nakobe Dean. A.J. Brown, one-on-ones with Eli Ricks. I heard it was bully ball. It was bully ball. A.J. Brown just got one over on Eli Ricks, man. And Eli Ricks could not do anything to stop it. Couldn't do anything. And mind you, A.J. Brown probably was already amped up because Isaiah Rodgers got the best of him, man. He had to beat up on Eli Ricks, man. I'm sorry, Eli Ricks. I'm sorry, but AJ got you. He got you. The last play of practice, it was Ainias Smith versus Andre Sam. Andre Sam got the best of Ainias Smith. You know what CJGJ said on the sideline while I heard? He haven't done nothing all camp. He ain't do nothing all camp. When I first read this and I first got this from the source, I'm like, you sure this happened? I DM'd the person. He's like, yeah, bro, this happened. I'm like, oh, man. And then I instantly felt bad. I'm like, dang, man, I'm hard on Ainias Smith. The teammates are hard on Ainias Smith. But I'm like, but he got to play better, man. He got to play better. Because look how the team view him. Look how we view him. CJGJ disrespecting him. He's fumbling during preseason games. And I'm telling y'all, man, Ainias Smith legit might not make this team. Or they might put him on the famous IR. But it's not looking good for Ainias Smith. Everybody see it. Everybody see it. And you know CJGJ, he ain't going to hold back. You been trash, he going to tell you. You been trash, bro. You definitely been trash. So Ainias Smith, is up to him. It's up to him. He got to get better. He definitely got to get better. And before I wrap up the camp notes and everything, but did you guys see Cooper DeJean? Yeah, he's working out, trying to get ready, trying to get prepared. I don't think he's going to be ready this week. Hopefully next week. But he's losing momentum. Whatever spot they was going to have him in, slot, that's Quinyon Mitchell. The outside's already locked up. You pretty much know the starting safeties. I think they'll work him in here and there, but he's definitely losing ground on stuff he could have had because maybe, Quinyon could have been battling for the outside position with Isaiah Rodgers or something like that. And then Cooper DeJean could have had the slot cornerback locked down. But Cooper DeJean just haven't been playing. But it's good to see him working his way back. But that's all I got for you guys today as far as camp notes. It was definitely a fiery, camp. AJ bully balling, Jalen Carter, Tyler Steen going at it, Ainias Smith basically getting teased. It was one of those practice, man. The team went hard. They went at it. And hopefully, we get another one, another classic. And hopefully, man, one day, they make the videos public. One day, training camp will just be public, but maybe one day. But hey, man, what do you think and how do you feel about the news today? How do we feel about all this stuff that happened, man? How do we feel? But this is Eagle Al. I'm up.